All right. Hi. Welcome back to the teaching show. Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. Now, I got an email. No, and what do you call it?
It's like a chat message.
It's a chat message that comes in on the internet, and it said, "What happened when your mom saw the bag not hooked up to the Hoover vacuum cleaner?"
I wanted to know
back
also.
in 1952, and. She was really gracious. She said, "Clay, come over here." I said, "Yes." She said, "See these little screws?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, you see these little hooks on the bag?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, you have to put the hooks over the shaft and then screw it down so that the rubber seal goes against the motor. So when the vacuum turns on, it doesn't suck air around where the bag hooks up. It can actually suck air through where the brushes are and suck up the stuff off the rug." And I go, "Ma, you're a wizard. Thanks. Wow."
I'm good. I'm glad it turned out
Yeah,
well.
so then we got the bag back on. She says, "Now, get to work. Do what you should have done before you took the bag off." So now, it's all about teaching, and it's also, teaching also is all about how you teach, where you lead people, how you communicate, okay? Now think about how much fun you could have teaching people how to work together, just building a snowman or using a computer or riding a bicycle. Think about that. Think about how you can teach people how you teach, about who you are and how to teach. It's a never-ending conversation. And think about this. Life is all about, all the time, every day, in every way, teaching someone something you either know you should do, know you shouldn't do, or an experience of yours. That's what we call the land of the white hairs. The land of the white hairs is people that have lived long enough on the planet and are smart enough to know that they have to find a way to teach what they know to people without telling them they have to learn it. It's called planting seeds instead of dropping trees. It's called contributing to another without getting the credit. It's called being big enough to give away what you know, and nobody knows you did it except for the receiver. Whoa, it's pretty cool.
And they may not even realize it till they suddenly know it.
And plus, if you want to have free time to go fishing and still teach, you don't want people to know you did it. You just want to go fishing. Ta-da. So it's really cool. Now, how about this? This is a story that Susan and I have told for years. I came home from work one day, and Susan was sitting on the couch, and she was crying, and I said, "Oh, my gosh, what's happened? What's going on?" And she said, "Well, the kids don't need me anymore." I said, "Well, why is that?" She says, "Well, I asked them to do the laundry, and they both went out there, and they separated the laundry, and they did the laundry, and they folded the laundry and put it away, and all the white clothes were still white, and all the red clothes were still red, and they don't need me anymore." And I said, "No, they definitely need you, but right now, they don't need you to do laundry." You got it? So the next thing we got to teach him is don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry. You'll come home with 19 bags of Oreos. Yeah. So think about that. It's all about, what do we want kids to learn? What do we want our parents to learn? Do you know that kids can teach their parents? Oh, here's a good one. Is last night, Susan and I were having this completion of an argument. And the reason I wanted to get complete is because we weren't talking to each other. It wasn't fun to be with each other. There was like tension in the air. So I said to everybody, I said, "Can we sit down? And I want to get rid of the tension, and I'm willing to be the problem, and I'm willing to change and do all this other stuff." And just the committing to getting it fixed taught everybody that if there's an upset and you've got something going on that you haven't completed the communication about, you're the one that has to get it complete. So find a way to get together and get it complete. It makes everybody feel better. So, Susan, if you're out there, you could call in if you want, on your mobile phone, especially if you're in the Harley shop buying me a present. Oh, sorry, I don't want to give you any ideas. Now, let me see. Everyday activities and all the experiences of those everyday activities can teach anybody just about anything, all right? So why should you teach what you know? Think about that now. Why should we, live life, experience life, and then want to give it away to somebody else, okay? Now think about this. All of us have kids. All of us have kids that are going to school. Therefore, all of us have kids that have homework. My son didn't know I knew anything about chemistry or psychology or trigonometry or biology or whatever until I started helping him with his homework. And his grades went from C's to A's out of the help I was with his homework. And we did it in a way where it was fun. He made flashcards. I got to tell him, what carbonic acid was and how things went together and what's the difference between inorganic and organic chemistry and all kinds of things. And he would look at me like, "Wow, where'd you learn that?" And then last night, or night before last, he goes out in the garage, and I used to be a pretty good carpenter, and I have all my carpentry tools. And he walks outside, and he goes, "Are those your tools out there in the garage?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Do you know how to use them?" I said, "Yeah, I've made a living using them for years." He says, "Could you show me?" I said, "You bet." So think about that. When you get a chance to teach, do it. It'll increase the relationship you have with yourself. That's called pride. And the relationship you have with another, all right? That's called honor. It's pretty cool. When you teach what you know, you always learn more about what you've taught and learn what you didn't know. When you teach what you know, you always keep your edge sharp at what you're teaching. When you teach what you know, you actually make room for what you don't know to show up. Now, can you hear that one? You want to get bigger and smarter? Give away what you know. Think about that.
Clay, I have an email in here that just came in from Jack. He says, "I've been promoted to a new position at work, but the person responsible for training me just won't let go. She actually seems threatened. How can I help her to see that I'm part of the team, not a threat to her?"
Well, you just spoke the answer. And boy, this, I've been a business coach for 25 years, and it's always about succession. It's always about one person coming in, another person leaving, or one person being promoted, another person has to come up, or one person being fired, and they got to find their replacement, So it's all about just what he just said. Read that last part of that where he said, you need to let her know as part of the team.
Yeah, how can I help her to see that I'm part of the team, not a threat to her?
That's exactly what you need to say. You need to say, I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate what you've built. I want you to know I will honor what you've done, but I'm now a part of this team, and I need to know what you know. So could we work together, and you give me what you know, and you move on to what you need to do, and I'll always be there to support you. You be there to support me. It's all about getting past the being better than or less than, okay? It's cool. Like I go to CJ, CJ, I was standing on top of a skateboard. I wasn't moving. I was standing on top of a skateboard, and I was in the drive, and I was going, I should be able to skateboard. I mean, anybody can skateboard, right? I'm 63, right? 230 pounds,
I do anything you put your mind to.
I could do it, And I'm standing on this skateboard, and I'm just looking around going, I could do this. At which time I promptly got off the skateboard. I went, "You're nuts. I'm not going anywhere on that skateboard. If I fall off, my elbows would get flat." So I went to CJ, and I go, "CJ, is it hard to skateboard?" He goes, "No, it's really easy." I said, "How long have you been doing it?" I said, "Since I was 3, and he's 17. I said, "Well, probably ought to think about starting this maybe some other time. What do you think?" So what he taught me is to be sensible at my age, all right? Don't have to be totally, quiet and banal and safe, but to be a little more sensible than jumping on a skateboard at 63 years old. So thank you, CJ. Now, the next time that you want to make a difference with somebody, teach them something. How about this? Teach them how to say no. Teach them how to ask for what they want. Teach them how to be told no to and not be upset. Teach them how to forgive. Okay? Teach them how to ask for what you want. How about that? Teach them how to be unstoppable when fear's got you stopped. There's all kinds of very cool things that you can teach and discover ongoingly inside a family, on the street, in a grocery store line, in a traffic jam. Like I have a way of being when I go to the airport. It's called my airport persona. When I get out of the car and I walk into the airport, I know that I no longer have a say in how my life turns out. The airport does. So I just put on this persona that just says, okay, I can just be with anything. And it works great. You know what else I noticed about that? Is when everybody's upset trying to get their flights rescheduled, redone, and everything else, I'm sitting around with a bunch of kids playing with the kids, and I don't particularly care what's going on. Got it? So it's a blast. So teaching. It's not just teaching just what you know. It's also learning and teaching to learning, just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Before we head out for the break, I wanted to throw this quote in from Lucretius. He wrote that the drops of rain make a hole in the stone, not by violence, but by oft falling. So there's a great way to think of making an impression and teaching.
It is so true, It's all about where you leave someone. It's all about what your intention is and how honorably you can give away your knowledge. I mean, it's really cool. All right, I've got to go on a break. This is Clay Nelson Lights Balance Hour, KZSB AM 1290. And boy, I'm learning that time goes by fast when you're having fun. So get on back here. I got a little bit of time left.